All right, you guys, I have a few Bibles to cover, and you might be wondering, hey, why are you covering those? Some of those are really nice, but they all either have peeling or there's something wrong with the front, which is why I need to cover them. Oh, okay. But first we'll hold the baby.
With my mind on higher things and the joy you bring. So I have decided to choose you for anything else.
I'm going to show you guys how to cover a Bible today in case there is someone who hadn't seen my older videos doing that. This is a smaller Bible, not as small as some, but not as big as others. I have this piece of material that I found at the thrift store. It's going to be slim. It's going to be very slim, but it will work. So I just cut a little bit right there. I'm just gonna rip that off. Okay, so I need to make sure I'm leaving enough so I can fold it over on both ends. Oh, is that going to be annoying that the pattern's going this way instead of up and down? A little too small. Let me see if this one is going to be tall enough. I think so. Okay, so we just need to snip it. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut these edges just because when I washed it, it started fraying pretty bad. So I'm gonna clean this up before we start gluing it down here. And I just wanna make sure we're still allowing enough room. That should be good. Now, does this get to tuck in or do I need to cut off? Oh, it's gonna get to tuck. Happy day. All right, so one of the biggest tips I could give you, oh, and someone had suggested, this is just a watercolor brush. Somebody had suggested that I keep it in water while I'm doing this. So I do that, and I think it has helped. I also use tacky glue. You could, I guess, maybe use Elmer's, but it's too water-based, and I'm afraid that if you were to use it, it would wrinkle really bad. And so far using this glue, I haven't had to deal with a whole bunch of wrinkles. So I have an extremely elaborate setup here. Because I'm going to cover so many Bibles, I'm just letting it drip out because that's going to be easiest for me. You do not want very much glue. That is something I have learned over the months of doing this. Less is more, Susanna. Less is more. If you get too much glue, it makes the book and the material wet, and then it wants to wrinkle and it doesn't look as good. So just a very light touch of glue. I'm going to put it all over the surface and then along the spine. And then we can wrap the material. And so far this glue has been holding great. I just found it on, I bought a 3-pack off of Amazon and I haven't had to replace it yet, but I will have to soon actually. We're getting there. Okay, and then just bring your material over and smooth out those wrinkles. I do iron this, but you want to press it with your hand too because it does tend to want to show the wrinkle, but if you press it with your hand, it 100% goes away. Okay, so let's do the back. Remember, the biggest tip I could give you is you don't need that much glue. Just need a little tiny bit. I feel like Bob Ross. We'll do a happy little glue over here and a fluffy little cloud of glue over here. We'll cap off some mountain tops with this glue. Okay, that's pretty good. I do like to spread it out because if it gets into one area, it will look wet right there, and it can, depending on the material, it can like soak through and make it darker in areas, and you don't want that to happen, and I've done that in the past. So once again, just pull your material over and smooth it out. Lovely. Beautiful. Sometimes I like to put that little crease right in there because it looks good. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to start our trimming. So I open the Bible in the middle and I grab some scissors and I cut right where the spine, where I'm going to tuck this into the spine. So that little flap's going to be tucked in there. This we're going to fold, but I need to do a better job than what I'm doing. I need to cut it at an angle so it folds without creating creases. Of course, these scissors are too big. I got some small scissors, oh yeah, at the thrift store in a bag full of goodies. I didn't mean to get them, but I needed a needle. And so these were in the bag with it, and they work great. Okay, so you're going to side, this is gonna go in. This doesn't have to be perfect, by the way. It really doesn't, because I'm not perfect at all, and oh, the dog agreed. And it works out fine. And then we're just gonna cut some of the bulk off of the edges. And I just cut it at an angle. Does it have to be perfect? Literally, no. This is why it's good for people who just like to get the job done. That's me. My mom can make the most gorgeous, beautiful quilts. Like, she has to measure and everything is like perfection. Just the thought of having to focus that much and be that perfect with something, I'm just like, I could never be a quilter. I want to quilt, but if I'm gonna quilt, it's got to be like these big blocks, one size fits all. That's it. I can't, the attention to detail and then having to sew straight lines, like, oh, that kills my brain. My brain's like, no, 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 no. Okay, we're gonna cut off the last square. Now, something I've learned, do not cut it too close, because then it won't cover the edge. Ask me how I know. Okay, so now we're just going to, I love it when a Bible has this thicker, because what we're gonna do is, when we're done, we're gonna cover all this material. It's not very pretty. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna cover it with this little piece of paper, and it's gonna look so professional. So once again, don't use too much, but the inside is more forgiving than the outside. So if you do get a little heavy, you're not really ruining anything, because it's not gonna be something you're gonna stare at all the time. I am gonna put some here because we will be folding this over. All right. Now we're just taking that little area that we had clipped off and we're gonna fold it in. Do the edges first, and I'll show you why. Fold it in. Then you're going to turn it so that you can see the edges right here. You're going to push in the edges, okay? You're doing that because if you were to leave this straight up and fold it over, it's gonna have extra material. It's gonna cause a bulge right there. To get rid of that bulge, make it look a little more professional, just simply push in on your fingers and fold up. Now, this is a lot of material. I don't need all that, so I'm gonna cut it off. Okay, so once again, we're simply pushing in, and then we're folding over. Okay, now that doesn't look great, does it? You're like, that is so ugly. Why would you ever do that? Well, we're not done. We're not done. I'm going to take some more of that glue and apply it along the edge, because you already put some in the middle, remember? But now you're just putting it where the material was. Okay. And then we're simply going to take this thicker piece of paper and we're going to meet it. If you get any glue like on the edges or anything, you can just wipe that off with a damp paper towel. But that's good enough. So then we're going to finish off with the front. We're going to do the same thing. Just take your glue. We're pretty much going to apply it to the whole back. This is going to be a beautiful prayer Bible for someone. Okay, now we fold in the edges first, pull it snug, fold in the edges, pull it up, tuck the corners, and fold it in. Now we're going to apply some glue. And take that thick piece of paper and meet it up. Okay, and then before we finish, we're simply going to tuck these little bits down into the spine area. Hopefully without ruining the spine. Okay. There we go. Perfect. So now we have a beautiful, gorgeous prayer Bible, and it is going to need to dry, but as it does, you will have a beautiful prayer Bible. Okay, now only 50 more to go.